Donald Trump's had a bit to say overnight. You might have seen it. Let's have a look anyway. Today, Iran will be hit very hard under serious consideration for complete destruction and certain death because of Iran's bad behaviour. Areas and groups of people that were not considered for targeting up until this moment in time. So what do you make of that? I mean, you're saying you're about de-escalation, but you're also about disarming Iran. Are you happy with the way the US is conducting this conflict so far, which they're hesitant to call a war, but clearly looks like a war?
Yeah, I mean, our support is conditional upon removing the nuclear threat. That's the basis upon which we supported the United States action, and that's consistent with the approach that we've taken for many, many months now since this conflict broke out. But there are 115,000 Australians that live and work within that region. Iran has been attacking nations that aren't involved in this conflict. So that's why we want to see a de-escalation to ensure the safety of Australians who live and work and get their livelihoods from the work that they do within the region.
How does a de-escalation happen in your view?
Well, we've got to make sure that there's a dialogue that goes on eventually. How quickly we get to that is yet to be seen. The President's indicated that he'd like to see the conflict ended within the next month. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But we want to see a de-escalation as quickly as possible.
He wants to say in the new leader. Do you think that's fair enough?
That's a matter for the Iranian people. Australia is a democratic nation, and internationally we espouse democratic values. So that
Donald Trump doesn't. He just wants to be able to choose the leader.
Well,
so that's a bit of a difference in positions, it seems, from what you're saying.
The Australian view is that that's a matter for the Iranian people.
Do you think the US has a game plan here?
Obviously, they've gone into the conflict with a game plan, and that was to stop Iran acquiring a nuclear weapon. We know that. There have been conditions that have been placed on Iran by the International Atomic Energy Agency, and that in the past they've breached those conditions. And that's why the United States launched those actions. They had, they say, intelligence that meant that they were enriching uranium to a weapons-grade level, and that's the basis upon which they launched this attack.
We had this issue come up in question time during the week of mosque funding, and a grant was pulled from Victorian Mosque by Minister Anna Lee after they mourned the death of the Ayatollah. Do you know why that money was granted in the first place and why it was taken off them?
Well, there are grants that are available for organisations to apply for, and this organisation has applied.
Do you know what program that was? Or
it's a multicultural grants program. So it's aimed at promoting multiculturalism within Australia, and there are guidelines that organisations must meet to secure that funding. Now, it's inappropriate for any person or organisation to mourn or promote the Ayatollah and the regime, given that they were promoting an anti-Semitic attack in Australia. And when we found out about them and this grant funding, it was immediately withdrawn.
A bit of speculation past couple of days that asylum could be granted to members of the Iranian women's soccer team out here if they want it. Is that something the government might consider?
Well, any sporting team or member of a sporting team gets no preferential treatment in terms of visas coming to Australia. They must meet all of the conditions for the visa, and that includes a security check and a health check. So there'll be no special circumstances granted to anyone that's competing in the Asian Women's Cup. The normal rules that apply to visa grants in Australia, including those important security checks, will apply.
Just finally, some weekend speculation the government may look to tax family trusts, which have been a tax minimisation vehicle for some time. That was a 2019 policy for Bill Shorten and that fateful election for Labor. Is that something you think the government could or should consider?
We didn't take that policy to the last election, and our tax policies haven't changed. The only focus of our tax policies at the moment are reducing income tax for Australians. There's another one built into the system, and we're looking forward to that being implemented later in the year.
At the moment. All right. Thanks very much, Matt Thistlethwaite.
Thanks, Andrew.